Hello. Happy New Year's, everybody. I hope everybody's having a fun and safe night. At the last minute, I decided to do the hashtag end of year tarot tag hosted by Chanel Days. You guys have already seen everything I had, so there's nothing new here to see, but I was just felt like doing it. And so there's 13 prompts, and prompt number 1 is deck you used most this year. Well, and as most of you know, I literally just started my tarot journey in October. Wait a second. I think it might have actually been September when Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension did the past life month. I think it was actually September is when I started my actually attempting to do tarot and learn tarot. So it's been 4 months. So the year hasn't been very long for me tarot wise, but a deck that I did use all year, which was not a tarot deck, was my Crystal Spirits deck. And because every morning, almost every morning this entire year, when I woke up, I would randomly draw a card and hold that, carry that crystal with me all day long. So this is a deck that I have used the entire year. It's much bigger than this. I used it in my year ahead envelopes for next year, but that is the deck that I used most this year. And then the next prompt is a tarot that you didn't use at all or barely used this year. And that would be the Animal Guides Tarot. I didn't use it once for some reason, so I used this in my year ahead envelopes, number 1, because I wouldn't miss it since I hadn't been using it. But number 2, I thought it would be a great way to maybe connect with this deck. And I mean, it's a gorgeous back. Look at that owl. And then, it says the name of the animal and a little message. So this really would have been a good beginner deck to use because of the messages on it, but I don't know why I just never reached for this deck once this year. And I did receive this deck before I actually even started doing tarot, but learning tarot is what I meant to say. All right, next, number 3. Your most recent edition. Well, I did literally just post a video a couple days ago showing all the decks I had gotten since October. And so I got several, but I decided to pick the, sorry, I'm trying to lean over to reach it. The Wisdom of the Wild Things. Yes. Wisdom of the Wild Things Oracle. I love it. I love the gun metallic gilding. I haven't seen gilding that color personally before. I'm sure there's a lot I haven't seen though. But I just love these little beings and creatures. I love them so much. So I think that is a gorgeous deck. And I do have a flip through of this going up soon. Somebody did ask if I could do that, so that is going up soon. I had a few requests for flip-throughs of recent decks that I got, and I'm just going to post one a week for right now because I don't want to overload everybody with deck reviews flip-throughs, so they'll be going up throughout the month of January if you're somebody that's waiting on one. Deck that isn't your usual style is the next one. And I picked the Everyday Witch Tarot. I love her. I thought that was a great bag for this one. So, this deck was recently given to me by one of my friends who was giving away some, pre-loved decks, and she sent them to me. And this is not a deck that I would normally have selected for myself. However, I am so grateful that I got this from her. I'm very quickly falling in love with this deck. When I first got it, I had just finished reading the Lisa Pepez's new book, Unlocking the Tarot. I sure hope I just said the title of her book right. And the premise of her book is helping you select your own keywords for the cards to help you learn the cards, because selecting your own keyword, in a sense, unlocks the door, opens that doorway to your knowledge of that card. If you come up with the keyword yourself instead of just going by keywords that somebody else gave. And then she has you write them on the deck. Well, I literally only have a handful of tarot decks. Half of those I don't use. A couple of those are for very specific purposes, so not for everyday use. And the ones that are left I didn't want to write on. So I used really thin, like, as far as it's skinny this way, but it's also thin washi. Not that thicker washi. And wrote my keywords on it, and it is working out great. It's not peeling off or coming off at all, and I love it. And I have done several readings with this deck so far. I accidentally dropped my cards earlier when I was doing a reading, so now I've got them upside down. But anyway, I've done several readings with this deck already so far, and I freaking love it. The readings have been phenomenal. And also, you guys, I'm in love with this cardstock. So this is the thinnest cardstock of any deck I have, I believe. It is very flexible, though. You can see it's not warped at all. And this deck just invites you. It calls out to be riffle shuffled. I love shuffling this deck. I will just sometimes sit there and shuffle it while I'm watching a video or something. I absolutely love shuffling this deck so much. And so now I have a little better understanding. Like, I have seen, you know, watching videos and on Facebook and stuff, some people say, you know, that they're in love with a deck, but the cardstock, you know, can't be riffle shuffled, and so they're disappointed that they're not going to get it because they won't get it. They're not going to get a deck that they don't enjoy shuffling or that isn't easy to shuffle. And I didn't think it, you know, on a truly curiosity level, I was curious what the big deal was about, you know, overhand shuffling like this. You know, I was like, you know, I wonder why everybody hates doing this so much. But now that I have a deck that's so amazing to shuffle this way, I fully understand where they're coming from now. If I had started off with all decks like this, I may feel the same as them. However, this is the first deck that I've had that is just screams to be shuffled like this. So I totally get it now. And I'm so happy that I got this deck. I really, really like it. But in general, the artwork of this deck is not necessarily a deck that I would have personally went, oh man, I have to have that deck. But I'm so grateful I got it because, and I'm not saying I don't like the artwork. It's just not one that I would have been at the top of my list. But the shuffling is great. The readings are great. The book is great. I really love this deck. So I will move on. I think I talked about this deck for like 5 minutes of the 9-minute video so far. Anyway, just thanks again to my amazing friend Bex for sending me that deck, plus the others. The next is your favorite deck pairing. Now, to be honest, if you've watched any of my videos, like the Season of the Witch videos, where I've done readings, you may wonder about my deck pairings. You know, I know a lot of people just really love pairing decks, you know, visually. And as I've already stated, I only have a few tarot decks that I use. One or two of which just came into my collection. So therefore, I don't really have great deck pairings. When I pick an oracle deck to go with my tarot reading, I will pick it based on which oracle deck is calling out to me for that reading and not how it visually pairs with the tarot deck. However, I do have 2 decks that actually go together. And so I would have to say that's my favorite pairing right now because it's my only pairing right now. And the first one is the Ethereal Tarot. Oh, it's still the night. And it really is a gorgeous, dark, mysterious deck. I really love this deck a lot. And by the same creator, oh, fireworks are going off. By the same creator, the Obsidian Veil, which is, I wanted to say dark goddesses, but I think it's more than goddesses. Let's see. Women from history, myth, and folklore. There we go. And this is the back of this deck. So I would say that this is my best pairing that I have in my collection currently. Oh man, there's a glare. You can't see it. I wonder if I change the... Oh, nope. 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 Can't get rid of the glare. I wonder if I turn the light off. Nope. Okay. So I'll just hold them up. How about that? I think these pair very well because they're made by the same creator and the same sort of style. So yeah, that's my best tarot, my best pairings to date. I was thinking about it the other day because I still have Christmas money that I can spend on decks. And so I was thinking about the other day, I wonder if I should take out some of my favorite decks and go online and try to find some good pairings for them. But honestly, I just received a lot of decks into my collection and I really want to focus on them for right now before I add something else. There's so many decks out there I love and want, but I think it's important to wait for right now. All right, next is favorite deck mod or bag or accessory bought or made. And I do love my little tarot bag that I made. I made these for a bunch of my Sassy Soul sisters, and they are reversible. I made them a little on the bigger side because me personally, I like to keep my books with my decks if I can. You know, some of the books, like the Llewellyn books, are huge, but a lot of the others are smaller, so I wanted room to be able to fit a tarot deck plus the book. And so when it gets wider like that, it shortens this up. But these are fully reversible, so you can flip them inside or out depending on which material you want on the outside. And then I made these little gemstone pentacle charms to hang off from the end of the ribbon. So I really enjoyed making these for my sisters. Up next is favorite deck backs. That would have to be the Call of the Morrigan Oracle. The artwork is by Naomi Cornock. I love her art so much. It is just so detailed and so gorgeous to me. Personally, in my opinion, I love her artwork. And these are, you would think this is a tarot card, like the front of the card. But no, these are the backs and they're gorgeous. I really, really love them so much. So these are my favorite card backs. By the way, I am truly loving this deck so much. I love this book. I've been path working with this deck and it's been an amazing experience so far. Next up, deck with a great theme. Okay. That would be my Golden Girls Tarot. I love it. A look into your future from the Lanai. This is the Golden Girls Tarot. This is a tarot that I got before I got this deck a few years ago. I was with my mom at the bookstore, one of our favorite places to go, and they had tarot decks there. And Mom was picking out someone. She was like, pick one out for you. And I wasn't into tarot yet. It was one of those things where it was just not something that I was called to do at the time. And my mom was such a great tarot reader. If I needed a reading, I just went to her, Here's the backs. So I was looking around and I freaking love the Golden Girls so much. So I saw this deck and I was like, okay, this is the one, just because I love the Golden Girls. And so yeah, I got the Golden Girls Tarot deck. And I love it. And I recognize a lot of these scenes. Now, it has been a few years since I've had the opportunity to watch the Golden Girls. But recently, at a library book sale, they were selling the whole set of Golden Girls DVDs for $1. So I bought it. Not all of the DVDs work, but that's okay. I just haven't had a chance to watch any yet. I don't get much time for watching TV, but I do. Some of the scenes in here I definitely recognize. But yep, I love this deck. I think it's so much fun. Stan is the Hanged Man with his toupee falling off. That's cute. Love it. And this is a deck that I haven't ever actually used for readings. It just sits on my shelf for fun. But maybe I should try to use it. Now that I'm learning tarot, maybe I should try to use it. And then a deck that you are in love with. And if you've watched any of my recent videos, this will not come as a surprise to you. Besides the fact that I'm quickly falling in love with the Everyday Witch Tarot, the Artist Decoded Tarot. I am so in love with this deck. I've had amazing readings with this as well. I do have to use the book more for this because, some of the images are reminiscent of the Rider-Waite-Smith, but not all of them. And so I do find myself having to use the book a little more with this deck than with the Everyday Witch Tarot. Plus, I decided to put my keywords on the Everyday Witch Tarot. So this one is taking a break for a moment while I work with the Everyday Witch so I can really get a little better grasp on learning the cards and reading with them. But see, look, like the Ten of Cups. There are a lot of cards in here that are still very reminiscent of the Rider-Waite-Smith. And I think as I get a little bit better, I will be able to work with this one a little more. However, I also really like this guidebook. So, I mean, every image is so gorgeous to me. But I was saying I really do actually love this guidebook, and I don't mind turning to it. I just wanted to get a little bit of more understanding under my belt with the Everyday Witch Tarot and the keywords on that deck. One of my favorite cards. I love the Three of Cups and it was the Nine of Pentacles, I think, is my other favorite card in this deck. But I love this deck so much. This is definitely like a soul deck for me. And there it is, the Nine of Pentacles. Those are my two favorite cards in this deck. Love, love, love it. I received this from another amazing friend. And I'm so grateful, so grateful to her for this deck. She was like, I know the perfect deck for you. And I was like, really, what is it? And she wouldn't tell me. And it was because she was sending it to me. And I'm so grateful because she was so right. And next, deck you wish existed. Either an out-of-print deck or a deck that maybe doesn't exist that you wish existed. And honestly, because I am so new, there's so many decks that I don't know about. I have a very limited scope. So I was trying to think. And nothing was coming to mind at first. And then recently I was watching a friend do a reading with a deck. And I was like, man, I really, really like that deck. And I just kept thinking, no, I really, really like that deck. Like, I have to have this deck. And when I asked her, I said, what deck is that? And she said, I hope I don't get these words mixed up, but it was the Bone Stone and Earthflesh Tarot. And I knew immediately that that was Avalon Cameron's deck. I know this because back in the day when Avalon was creating that deck and everything, my mom used to watch her back in the day. So I immediately knew that that was her deck, and I knew that there was no way I could ever get that deck. I think I think there's one left on our website, and it's $500 or something like that. So yeah, that's a deck that I actually really do like, but will never own. And then, which card sums up this year as a whole? Oh, I should have left it out. I totally forgot I was going to leave that card out. And we saw the card in here too. The Three of Cups. So my year had a lot of really low lows and a lot of really high highs. And so I was trying to think, you know, what card could represent my year? And the one thing that I kept coming back to was all of my amazing friendships that I have made this year on both of my channels. I have made some amazing lifelong friends that I truly cherish so much. And I think that that is the overall true highlight of my year, is these communities and friendships that we're all creating with each other here around common interest, and the kind of friendships where it's okay to be completely different and unique and have different opinions. We don't have to agree with each other all the time. And that's okay. And we're still support each other and lift each other up and always have each other's backs. And that is the true highlight of my year. Of course, my family. That's a given. Okay, I don't want to, not put that out there. But when I think of a card that represents my year, the highlight of my year was these amazing women that have come into my life. And so the Three of Cups is my card that sums up this year as a whole for me. And I do love this depiction of the Three of Cups. It's beautiful. So, and then your tarot practice reflection. And I made a joke I wrote everything on a piece of paper so I wouldn't forget, or I printed it off. But my tarot practice reflection, that I even have one because, 4 months ago, I wasn't even practicing. So I guess just the fact that I have a tarot practice, period. And I would say the thing that has helped me the most in my tarot practice and learning is I really love Lisa Pepez's Unlocking the Tarot book that just came out. I really love it. Also, my book, oh, I don't have it in here. My book for the Artist Decoded Tarot is also really, really good. But that has helped me a lot in my practice. And then also, Rochelle from Amethyst Ascension back in September starting these themed months where she has a different content creator here on YouTube partner up with her Facebook group, Divination and Spirituality. And the creator for the month comes up with a theme and spreads or just things to do throughout the month related to that theme. And the first one was in September, and I was just really ready to dive into tarot, and I decided to do it with her I don't know what you call it, but you know, her thing that Rochelle put together starting back in September. And I dove right in, and I kind of it's just fun looking back at that month of my readings, and then Rochelle asking me about my readings and me not knowing how to verbalize anything. So yeah, it was really funny, but I think that really helped me, just having that to jump into and just diving in feet first. And even though I was kind of floundering and starting, swallowing water, halfway drowning, but not really, it really doing her things every month with the different creators every month has really helped me grow, I believe, a lot faster than I would have if I didn't have that. So those two things have really helped me grow a lot in the last 4 months. Obviously, I have a lot more growing to do and learning to do, but there's that. And then, 1 second, let me pull. The last one is pull a card for the new year or a deck you want to use in the new year. Well, pretty much every deck you see here are decks that I want to use in the new year. But I decided, so my actual card for 2025 is the Temperance card. But I thought it would be fun to go ahead and just pick a card right now on video and see what we get. I've already shuffled it a million times on this video. I don't really need to shuffle it again, do I? All right. Card for the year 2025. They keep almost jumping out, but not quite. This deck doesn't really do jumpers, and I do like jumpers sometimes when I'm asking a specific question. So I'm going to pause it real quick. Got it. And it landed face down, luckily, so I still don't know what it is. So let's look together. Ooh, Strength. That's a beautiful card to get for the year. I love it. Take a closer look at this particular Strength card. I love it. So thank you all for coming and watching my video. And thank you to Chanel Days for this end of year tarot tag hashtag. I had fun doing it. I had a little downtime this evening and just thought, let's do it. So I hope you all have an amazing, fun, and safe New Year's Eve. And I hope you all have an amazing, bountiful, happy, healthy, magical 2025. See you soon. Bye.